I am Balakumaran, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, Amet University, Chennai. My title, Introduction to Mechatronic System. The definition of Mechatronic System, it is a combination or it is a integration of all the engineering such as electronics, electrical and computer technology, which is integrated with the mechanical engineering. So, it is called as Mechatronic System. Okay. In this we can use the mechatronic system in either a domestic or industrial application, whatever the need. In day to day life we can see more number of application which are to be related with the mechatronic system. In my video I can give what all the components which are be used in the mechatronic system, then I can give what all the application which is related to the domestic, followed by the industrial, then what then space application and military purpose application, and what are all the things and what are all the applications we are seen in the day to day life. In this diagram which can clearly explain what is mechatronics, you can see it is of having mechatronics, it is a combination of mechanical, computer, then control system, then electronics, then followed by the mechanical system. The cluster, it is called as mechatronics. How the mechatronics is introduced in the world, how they are introducing the mechatronics means it was introduced by Tetsuro Mori, who is a senior engineer in a Japanese company called Yaskawa. He can introduce the system, it can support the mechanical system with the support of electrical, then electronics, then followed by the computer systems. Then in this topic I can introduce the system, what is system, then afterwards we will see the what is mechatronic system, then what is other types of system which are to be exist in the application of industrial as well as the domestic purpose in this system. What is system? In generally we can see a system, how it is a system means we can give a input that will be processed, then it can produce the output, it is said to be a system. You can consider either in the domestic application we can consider the fan. Fan is an electrical device, we can give the input as electrical current, then we can get output as a mechanical form of rotation. Likewise you can see here it is of, they can consider as motor, they can give the input as electrical power and they can get the output as rotation. Okay, in this they can consider this one as a black box or it is a box by which we can give the input and it will be processed, then it can give the output. Likewise it will be seen in the system. Then next in this I will show the mechatronic system. It is somewhat differ from the normal system. How it is differ means the very basic definition in the mechatronic system, it is of having a feedback, it is just a feedback. This will be explained in the previous number of slides. It is of having 4 main components, whatever the 4 main components means, it is of having the sensors, actuators, controllers and mechanical components. In this you can see here how the mechatronic system which is advanced with the normal system means they can able to give the desired effect. You can see when if the system is running means I need I have the desired effect for which the system to be rotated at the speed of 600 rpm. Means without, if a system is said to be as open system or it is a normal system means they can I can give the input as a current, it will be produce the output and the rotation speed for about I can able to obtain the rotation, but I can't able to get the exact 600 rpm. Okay. In this mechatronic system, I can able to get whether I can able to get the RPM which is less than my desire, means I need to boost up by using this feedback. I can able to find what is the value of the rotation, I can able to get it from this system. I can able to easily I can able to measure, then by this I can give the input by using the sensors. I can able to adjust the input to obtain my desired effect in the system. So, this system is said to be as mechatronic system. In this system, it is having the 4 main components as sensors, actuators, then controllers, followed by the mechanical components. In this sensors, sensor is a device which can able to measure what is the parameter by which it can able to give the you can see what is sensor. Sensor is a device, it can convert any sort of physical parameter into electrical output, by which I can give the input in a form of sensors. What are all the sensors I can able to give the input means by means of switch, either it is a switch is also a one type of sensor by which we can give that only 2 inputs, either it may be of on or it may be of off. Likewise, they are having the potentiometers, photoelectronics, then digital encoders, then strain gauges. Strain gauges means if I give any sort of deformation, I can easily obtain the output as mechanical deformation, or otherwise I can get the electrical deformation. Likewise, the next one is of actuators. In this actuators, the sensors by which it can able to get actuators can get the input. In this actuators, they can get the inputs by means of the sensor, then they can able to amplify the input, and by this actuators they can move the systems. What all the systems are used in the actuators means either it may be a solenoid or a DC motor, stepper motor, servo motors, whatever it is they can use. In the hydraulic and pneumatics component, we are using the cylinders, either it may be of double acting or single acting. Likewise, we are using, then there is a stepper motor and a servo motor. What is a stepper motor and servo motor means, you can see in day to day life we are using the motor, it we can give the input and it will be give the rotation. In the stepper motor, we can able to adjust the rotation by means of angles. Then servo motors, we can able to adjust the rotation by means of micro angles. The next one, this is of controllers. In this controllers, what is the function of the controllers means, it can able to control the system in a desired effect. What is of a desired effect means, I can assume the system should perform this much effect means, if I won't put the controllers, it may perform excess than my desired effect or less than my desired effect. But if the controller is there means, it should maintain whether the system can be achieved my desired level. Likewise, I can able to obtain. In this, they can we are using logic circuits, microcontroller, SPC, PLC, sequencing, and or there are the many things are there. How they are how we are able to use this things means, based on our application, either it may be a small application, I can go with this logic circuit, or it is of having the multiple task application, I can go with the PLC, the programmable logic circuits, or otherwise I can go I am having the different number of levels of controlling the task in the same platform means, I can go with the communication port. In this, I can able to control the level of works in the multiple level of tasking. Then next one, this mechanical component, this is the output which are to be obtained by the system, either it may be of cranes or engines, whatever it is. What is the effect I need to done, it is to be connected with the I can able to get it from the mechanical components, either by means of cranes, engines, or robots, or numerical control machine, whatever it is. Then next one is of sensor. The sensors, preliminarily I have tell you that it is a device in which it can able to convert one form to another form. Either I can give the input in a form of temperature means, it can able to convert that much of temperature into electrical energy. I can able to give the input as a light means, that form of light which will be converted into electrical energy. You can see I can show the different types of sensors over here. You can see this is the sound sensors. This sound sensor, it can get the input as sound, and by this sound they can able to measure the decibels in a form of pressures, and this will be converted it into electrical signals. Then this is a touch sensor, by which I can give any sort of touch over there. It will be sensed, then it can gives the electrical signals in the output, and it will tell that it is having any sort of observation over there. The next thing you can see, this is a light sensor. How the light sensors are to be in use means, I need to measure the intensity of light, means I can go over this light sensors. In this light sensors I can get the intensity of light. That light will be converted into how much intensity, this will be converted into electrical signals. By this ultrasonic, this is of ultrasonic, it is used for measuring the distance, how much amount of I can able to pass the sound, by which I can able to get the amount of electrical signals over here. Okay, in this I can show you the two basic categories over here. It is of either it may be of analog signal or it may be of discrete signal. Discrete sensors, how it is of analog and how it is of discrete means, either in olden days we are having the only the measurements in a form of analog. How it is of analog means, it is of having the scale which is followed by the pointer needle, so I can able to get the reading, it is said to be as analog. Then what is of discrete means, nowadays we can see all the electronic system and all the systems in the world which are to be in a form of discrete. How it is discrete means, we are seeing how much amount of speed I am riding my bike, how much amount of weight I am getting the product, either by means of vegetables or meat, whatever it is, I can get it in a form of digital format of digital, which is also comes under the category of discrete. How it is of discrete means, in this it can able to measure the pulse, how much amount of pulse which will be counted in the discrete. Okay. These are the other types of sensors which are existing in the market. What are all the sensors are there means, we can see it is of temperature sensor, or it is of having a barcode reader in purchasing any sort of products in the supermarket and all, it will be accounted by means of barcode. Then next one, this is of proximity. You can see in general the application of the sensors which are to be classified into two types. What it is of a proximity sensor and tactile sensor. What is proximity means, if the sensor doesn't touch with the object, but it can able to sense the object by means of passing the light and reflect and getting the light by means of reflection, it is said to be as proximity sensor. Then tactile sensor is, it is a sensor by which it can able to sense the object by means of making a touch with the component. It can able to sense whether the object is there or not, likewise that is said to be as tactile sensor. Then this one is of vision. This is the advanced level of sensors. In this the sensor which are to be replaced with the cameras, by which the camera which can able to it can able to capture the pictures, and by this camera we can able to get the input by whether the object is recognized or object which is to be present, and what is the working which are to be carried out, that is to be measured by means of this vision sensor. This compass, gyroscopic, then acceleration sensors are the different types of sensor which are used. This gyroscope couple which is used as to measure the stability of object, either it may be of ship also, we are using the gyroscopic couple. Then next one, this compass, the compass and all we are using in the olden days for finding the direction, either it may be of north or south, likewise we can able to measure. Then this is of accelerating sensor. Accelerating sensor is nothing but the speed sensor, it is used to measure how much amount of the speed the object is running, likewise. Then next one, it is of actuators. The previously we have seen the actuators. What is of actuators means it is having it can able to get the input by means of sensors. By this sensor it can able to amplify the signal, then it this actuator it can give the output by means of either by means of rotation or by means of linear movement, whatever it is. The actuator can play a major role in a mechatronic system. You can see the sensor which can give only the input to the system, but the actuator it can perform the task, either it may be of rotation or it may be of linear movement, whatever it is. The sensor signal which will be amplified and the working to be carried off over here. Then you can see here what is an actuator in the topic. It can transform the signals which get it from the sensor, it is to be transformed into another signal. Either you can see the sensor which can give the signal in a form of electrical, and what is the working over the actuator, either it may be of a single acting cylinder, means their work will be of having a linear movement, or otherwise you can see the actuator it is maybe of motor, means there by getting the electrical signal from the actuator from the sensor, the actuator can do the rotational movement. You can see in this block diagram very clearly, the actuators can perform the work by means of this logical signal. Logical signal is a signal which is get from the sensors, this signal which are to be amplified and it will be sent into the actuator system, either it may be of electrical or hydraulic or pneumatic, whatever it may be, it will be sent into the system. By this I can see here, this is I can consider this one as electrical motor and this one as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders. This motor will be running by this power, these two will be actuating, either it may be of holding the object or it can able to transmit the raw material from one place to another place, likewise. Then this is of having the final actuation element. What is the final actuation element means, what is my input, I need to transfer the raw material from one place to another place, or otherwise I need to I need to grasp any object, likewise this is my actuating element which will be measured, either the signal we are giving the input signal which will be matches with the final actuation, likewise I can able to measure by means of this feedback, by means of this actuator sensor as a feedback, by which I can able to give the result by using this actuator. This is the different types of actuators. Mainly the actuators will be classified into three different types. How it is classified means based on their way of input, either it may be of electrical or it may be of mechanical. By this mechanical it is to be classified into two types, either it may be of hydraulic or pneumatic. In this electrical actuator we are just considering the motors. You can see the electrical motor, either it may be of DC motor or AC motor or stepper motor. You can see a DC motor we are giving the power supply as a direct power. In the direct power I have previously explained that servo motors are having the application by which it can able to control the rotation by means of very micro angles, by which we can able to perform what sort of applications I can able to use by using the DC motor. In this AC motor also I can perform the application over here. Then the stepper motor, what are all the application by which I can able to use the servo motor and the stepper motor means, either I can able to grab any sort of object, I can able to move any sort of object for a certain line, or otherwise I can do what is the thing of doing in an automation system. We are go with this type of motors. The next one, hydraulic actuators and pneumatic actuators. You can see here, this is of hydraulic actuators and this one is of pneumatic actuator. What is of hydraulic actuators means, it is just a hydraulic cylinder. In hydraulic and pneumatic cylinder and all we are seen in the day to day life. This hydraulic cylinder which are used in the unloading of the tipper lorries and all, we are seen the hydraulic cylinder which are used for unloading of the load, either it may be of sand or it may be of blue metal. They are to be carried in the carrying chamber. It is to be unloaded by using this one, and you can see this one, this is of pneumatic actuator. In this pneumatic actuator we are seeing the application in the omnibuses and all, their doors which will be opening and closing by means of this actuating system only. This pneumatic and hydraulic actuators, I can give the only one small information regarding this. This hydraulic actuator, it can able to work with very heavy loaded application, but in this pneumatic actuator it can able to actuate the load which are to be present in the very lightweight application. It can't able to hold the load of very higher level, it can able to hold the load for about very small levels for the pneumatic actuation system. Then this is a control system. How it is of control system works, it will be seen in the previous slide itself. It can able to control what is the desired effect. I can give the input to the system, it will be controlled by means of this control system. You can see here, I can give the input and I can get the output, but this control system which can control the component or any sort of equipment. Without the control system, I can work in any sort of automated industry or any sort of industry, means it will be of having any sort of damage which are to be occurred for the equipment or any sort of system. But if we use the control system, the system which will be working in the secured or safe level of conditioning which are to be obtained over here. In this you can see here, this is of having manual control and as well as automatic control. In how the manual control and automatic control are to be classified means, in manual control we can use the humans, but the machines will be there, but we can give the inputs by means of hands. Operator hands, they can give the input, but in the automatic control we can involve the machines. This machine which are to be coupled by means of some electronic or computers, then they can transfer the data to the machines. Likewise it will be working. Then in the next slide I can show the what are all the types of control system which will be there for the mechatronic system. This is of open loop control system, closed loop control system and multivariable control system. Three types of control systems are here. In this open loop control system you can see I am giving the desired output response. That means of what? I am giving the input, it is actuated by the actuating device, then processed, then I can able to get the output. I won't compare the output with my desired level. I can't able to measure the output value. If I give the you can see, if it is just a open system, I can give the whatever you can consider a motor. I can it will be connected by means of a plug point. I can give the input by means of electrical energy. It will be rotating. I don't know whether it is rotating in the certain RPM and all. I don't know about what is the value, how it is of rotating. Either it is rotating in the optimal condition or it is rotating in the safe range. I don't know. This is like by this open loop system is of having without having the feedback. Without measuring the output value, so it is said to be as open loop. Then closed loop system, you can see here, it is having the measurement in this. This is said to be as feedback. I can able to measure how much speed the motor will be running. I can able to measure. Then it will be having the comparison element by which it can able to compare the value, how much amount of how much speed of the motor which will be rotating. I can able to give it in this desired output level. If it is running at the very high speed greater than my desired level, means it will be reduced by using this controller. By in this comparison element I can able to compare the value of practical value with my actual value. Then next this one, this is the multivariable control system. What is a multivariable control system means? You can see here this and all having only one input. Here it is having 3 different input. If 2 or more input which will be given to the system, that will be processed and that is to be controlled by means of the control system. It is said to be as multivariable control system. In this 2 or more input which are to be processed, then that that output will be measured by means of the measurement element, then that will be compared with the comparator, then by this it will be send it to the controller element. In this mechatronics application there are wide number of application over here. You can see this is of tools. In the manufacturing application we are using the tools over here. The mechatronics also applicable in manufacturing, any sort of micro level machining or micro level turning, we can go with this one. Then computer, laptops we are seeing. You can see in the electronic system, then you can see the keyboards, this and all micro switches which are mechanical elements which are to be coupled to form the computer. Then you can see the cars there, you can see the bonnet and all, you can see the display of the how much amount of speed the car is running. Then you can see the doors, their door is of having their window adjustment and all, which will be controlled by means of motor. So it is said to be a mechatronic system. You can see this one camera, their focal length adjustment. Then we can introduce some sort of features which is to be done by means of this mechatronic system. Then micro electronics mechanical system and all, we are using the gears and incorporating with the gears I can use any sort of ICs and resistors, and for the any sort of logic circuit which has to be performed, this is to be applicable with the mechatronic system. Then I can see in the high speed trains in Japan and all, they are using the bullet trains, by which they are also go by the mechatronic system. They are using the magnets by which they are placing the opposite poles of the magnets in the tracks, and in the rails they are fixing the opposite poles in the rails, by which it will be reflected and deflected. Then their movement which are to be applied over here. This is of unmanned aircraft which are to be used in the military application and all, they are using like this. Then I will show the some of the pictures and how the application over there in the mechatronic system. In this mechatronic system we are having the manufacturing applications, followed with the transportation application, then domestic application, then next to that of scientific or space application. You can see here in the micro factory or micro level machining, either I need to machine any sort of very specific component, either it may be of aerospace application or space application. Likewise the component I can go with the mechatronic system, by which the rotation of the drill bit which are to be controlled by means of this electronics component. Then next one, this is of CNC bending. I need to bend any sort of components, I can go with this one. What is a CNC bending? It can able to bend very high complex and very high thickness steel or any sort of toughened material which are to be bent by using this CNC bending. This is to be by the CNC machine which are to be controlled by means of this computer. This computer which it will be connected by means of some sort of electronic device. So this system is said to be as mechatronic system. The next one, CNC machining. In the CNC machining we can see the machining of the complex component which are to be obtained by using this CNC machining process. How the CNC are to be operated over here in the mechatronic system is this very huge machine which are with the machines, either it may be of lathe or it may be of special machines, either it may be of shaper or it may be of a driller or it may be of central lathe. Whatever it is having the machine followed by the some of the electronics component, which one helpful for setting the cutting tool, and the electronic system which will be useful for fixing the raw materials, then there what are all the different complex geometry which are to be feeded into the system, that and all electronic system, then this whole system which are to be controlled by means of a computer. So they can able to get the high level of accuracy which are to be done with the CNC machine. In the automobile, I have previously informed that the mechatronic system have more number of application over here. In the preliminary elements such as you can see here brake and all, they are having electronics braking system. The next thing, it is of having the steering also. There are some advanced level have came into the picture of electronics control steering or electronics powered steering are to be introduced over here. Then engine also they are introduced the camless engine, by which what is the if any sort of malfunctioning occurs in the engine, we can able to get the details by using that internal port. By this I can able to connect the internal port with my laptop, and I can able to get what is the defect which are to be occurred in the engine. That and all the great expansion over the automobile field. The next one is this is of a door system module. How the door system module is working in the day to day life, we are using the car. In the car you can see there it is powered by means of their powering window. There a window it is to be operated by means of a button. It is to be controlled by means of a servo motor, by which I can press this button, the window will be closed or window will be open, whatever my likes I can able to control by using this servo motor. Then next thing, it is having the side mirror. The side mirror adjustment also it is to be controlled by means of the servo and stepper motors. We are in the advanced level of automobile technologies. The next one, a seat system module. By adjusting my driver's seat, it will be controlled by means of this push button. I can able to push the button, it can give the position of desired position by which it will be shoot for my steering control. Then next one, it is of transport application. I have to tell that the mechatronic system is a main application for the bullet trains, as well as this one what it is the monorails and all, they are using like this. You can see it is having, they can place their magnets like this in the rails. This is of track and this one is of rails. They are placing the magnets like this, which are opposite to that of the tracks. We are placing the magnets which is opposite to that of rails. Then by this deflection their movement will be taken place over in the rails. The next one, this is of Segway. Normally we are use this Segway for moving from one place to another place of in any sort of terrace region. For nowadays in our place also they are using for any sort of surveillance purpose. They are using, this is a big dog. It can be transported or it can be walked in any sort of rough terrain places. This is also used in the what sort of application means, this also used in the military application. In their border region and all, they are using like this to in front of this big dog they can fix the cameras, by which they can able to get the surveillance over the borders. This type of robots which are to be used in the domestic application for what, in this you can see here clean gutter. This is used to clean the any sort of lands and all, it will be cleaned over here. Then vacuum floor, this will be used in the office to clean the dust which are to be in the any sort of floor region, it will be cleaned. The next one, it is of space exploration application. In placing the satellite and all, they are using the vehicles, that also which will be controlled by means of the mechatronic system. It is having the mechanical elements followed by the electrical, electronics, and these components which are to be controlled here in the space stations by means of the computer. So this is said to be as space exploration application. The next one, medical application. In any sort of accident, the human can lose their hands or their legs. Now there is a thing in the advantages of mechatronics, they are having the prosthesis. It is having the electronic system, it will be connected with the human nerves. Then what is the function which are given to this nerve, that will be actuated over this prosthesis, fingers and their hand action which will be working. Then this is also followed by means of legs. Okay, there is having their micro level sensor which are to be controlled with the human nerves for doing such activities. This is a very great application in the medical field of mechatronics. Then in this medical application, they are using the pacemaker and implantable bones or any sort of parts which are to be lost by means of any sort of accidents and all. They are to be gone with this mechatronic system. Mainly the pacemaker for the persons who are the cardiac patients who are all having less beats, they are using this pacemaker. It will helps to increase the heartbeats rate by using this pacemakers. Then this is in the defense application, we are using the unmanned aerial vehicle. What is the function of the unmanned aerial vehicle? Means we are using this unmanned aerial vehicle in any sort of war situation. We are using this unmanned aerial vehicle to it will be go across our border or boundary, and it can able to check how the enemies will be they are working to capture our border or boundary. Likewise, it will be working without having any sort of pilots in their nose. It will be controlled and actuated and captured by means of the space station over here. Then in this you can see it is having the sanitary application. This is of a domestic purpose. In normally this type of automatic tap and all we are seen in any sort of malls and shopping complex and all, they are using like this sanitation application. Then next one, this soap dispenser, automated soap dispenser. Then paper towels, here paper towels, they are also working like this. Then next thing, this is of having the sports shoe. It is having their cushioning effect which are to be adjusted by means of the mechatronic system. Either the surface, it can able to measure either the surface is rough or normal or tough. Likewise, it can able to measure and it can give the cushioning effect for the sportsman's. The next one, this is of smart home applications. In the smart home application, the water level to be filled for the overhead tank which are to be controlled by means of this mechatronic system. The next thing, then smoke detecting sensor. This is of sensor which are placed in the kitchens to avoid any sort of gas leakages which are to be occurred in a house and all. We are using like this. Nowadays we are using the automated washing machine. In this washing machine, all the works such as either it may be of pre-washing, then post-washing, spinning, then drying, all the works which are to be controlled in the process by using the microprocessor. We can able to control there all the process by which we can able to wash the clothes by means of fully automated washing machine. So by this also we are go with the mechatronic system process. Okay, thank you for watching this video.